Welcome along, everybody. We are here for bronze action in Spielberg, of all places. Then we're here in Austria, of course. Then round 9 of bronze, season 10. Then almost halfway through. We're flying through, to be fair. Looking forward to getting this one started. It's going to be an action-packed affair, as we usually expect around Austria. But we will wait and see. We're just waiting for one more to jump into the lobby, and we can get ourselves cracking. Then here in the Styrian Mountains, of course. And let's see how it's going to be then as we get ourselves cracking then in the in this round 9, of course, and in the championship order. Then we've got some dicey mixes and what's not going on, who knows. Bear with me 1 second, we can get going now. And there we are. Then we'll get the lobby getting a move on then, and we can crack on then with qualifying then. Good stuff. Right then, we'll get on. We've got 20 drivers in the lobby. We've got 20 drivers then onto the grid in just a moment's time then, and we can go through the championship standings as they are from round 8 in Canada, which of course is a long way away from Austria then, but we've skipped out a couple of races, haven't we, with I think it was Monaco in between. That nobody wants to race Monaco apart from me, and that's why we're not doing it. So there we go then. So it was quickly vetoed by the other admins when we were putting the calendar together. But unfortunately, no Monaco then. But there we are then. Dynamo Dan and Smithy then in the championship order then, in the Drivers' Championship, that is, in 131 points for both drivers then after Canada. A fantastic affair then, heating up in the championship then for bronze. As it is then with Reflection in P3. He is on 124 points, only 7 points adrift from the top spot as well then, as we go into round 9 here, then loading in now. And so Reflection might be having a say then in that championship order as well then after tonight. Then we'll wait and see. Hungry Styles then unfortunately didn't have a good time in Canada then. He's in P4 though with 90 points then. Not too far adrift then from the top 3 as well then, with Win being 30 points as well here in bronze. Rosa Sky in P5 with 87 points, and Rocket Lee then just behind with 85 then. So to be fair, with Serious Mushroom in P7 with 85 as well, then my eyes are deceiving me. I can't quite see the text there. But Mushroom then, so everyone in everyone to be fair in bronze is challenging for the championship, to be honest. So with the top 8 then, the top 7 very close indeed then. Mr. Lee in P8 then in the other Alpine, then he's on 64 points in, with Stephen Anthony on 63 in the Williams P9. San then making up the top 10 with 49 points in the McLaren. Unfortunately, San not racing tonight then, which is a big shame indeed. But there we are then. Aston Martin lead the way in the Constructors' Championship. 209 points then for Reflection and Rocket Lee. 194 points then for the Williams team of Dynamo Dan and Stephen Anthony then, so not too far behind as well then. And Ferrari then, Smithy and Winnie then in P3 then with 176 points. So that is the top of the orders then for the championship. Then we can get ourselves cracking then for the qualifying action. Then I need to bring up the stream because I was busy reading out the standings there, so I didn't know what I was doing. There is the stream there. Good stuff indeed. And nice and sunny start to qualifying, well, for now anyway. So we'll wait and see how it's going to unfold then in this Grand Prix. But there we are then. Marsky is already heading out on the circuit. Hungry Styles then, of course, is in that quali band from the previous race then in Canada, so unfortunately not going to take part in qualifying then. We'll see what he can do then as he makes his way through then in the Grand Prix then. We've seen some fantastic pace indeed from Styles. We've seen some fantastic pace, to be fair, from everybody on the bronze grid, I think, this season so far. We've only had 8 rounds, and it's been absolutely epic, and I haven't been able to keep up with it, to be fair, which is nothing new. But there we are. So we'll crack on then. Marsky then and Ballot then out on track. Then Styles then is in the pit lane. He is not going to be taking part in qualifying, unfortunately, for Styles. Let's see what we can do then in the Grand Prix. But 2 drivers now out on track. Then we've got Liam then also out as well. Then as is Reflection, championship challenger potentially as well then in the Aston Martin then. So we'll sit on board with Ballot then, because Ballot is furthest around the circuit then in the McLaren. And let's see what he can do then here in Austria tonight then. We've got evening all. Good luck then, bronze, says Irvine as well. And Irvine, very, very unlucky last night to miss out on potentially a podium as well then for the Ferrari team then, is Irvine then. But he did get himself, I think it was P7 in the end then, after all that went wrong then in that final lap then for Irvine. Then he did a fantastic 35 laps indeed then, and got let down by the Pirelli tyres, didn't he, towards the very end of the final lap there as well then, which is a big shame indeed, because Irvine was looking good indeed as well then for a big haul of points as well then. Far Garth says, evening all, I have horrible sneezes, ginger sniffles, then says Serious Mushroom, then, oh dearie me. That's not good, as we've got a yellow flag there. I think that's Marsky then having an issue into turn 1 already then, unfortunately starting off his lap then, so we'll have to wait and see if Marsky can recover that in the latter part of qualifying. Then into turn 4 goes Ballint, flying down then into sector 2. And Halsey has said, evening all and good luck all as well then for the McLaren driver who's jumped in place of Sand then as a reserve then tonight there. Good stuff indeed. Here comes Ballin then into sector 3. Purple of course then in the first couple of sectors. He's the first driver out on circuit then to set a flying lap so far. Let's see what it's going to be then down the hill then into the penultimate corner then, making sure we don't go over the curb too much on the inside there, and now flying through the final corner then for Ballin. Up to the line then for the McLaren. What's it going to be? It's a 5.2 to set ourselves underway in qualifying here. Good stuff indeed. Very good stuff indeed. Marsky then invalidated his time. That is why he had a bit of an issue. Potentially invalidated both laps. Then we'll come back to that one because hopefully he can get himself back underway. Where is Reflection? Then I've gone through the whole order there to get himself down to Reflection. And there he is coming through the final corner then into the... wow, he's drifting that car through the final corner almost then. It's up to P1 then with a 4.0 for Reflection. A time that I couldn't even beat, to be fair. Liam's done a 5.6, puts himself P3 then at the moment. Then good stuff indeed from Liam. Then Marvsky is having some real issues out there. He's back. Mushroom's retired as well then. Goodness me. So there we are. I don't think Mushroom's got a qualifying ban, but he's just decided to lose his car keys in the garage already. So Marsky's having some sort of technical difficulties out there, I think, unfortunately, but hopefully he can get himself sorted in the next 14 minutes or so, so he can get a time on the board. Then DeCanco then is starting off a lap. Then hopefully DeCanco has a bit more form than this time round. He got unfortunate, I think, in the previous couple of races there, but hopefully this time he can turn it around then for the Red Bull team as well. Then we've got Real Ashton, his teammate, then out on circuit heading down towards turn 4. Where is, I think it's Real Ashton then, isn't it? We'll stay on board with the Red Bull driver as well then, as Winnie has also had an issue. So Winnie's got has Winnie got a qualifying ban as well then? Goodness me, who knows? There's too many qualifying bans out there. So good luck, Bronze from Kiki then. Can't stop sneezing. We'll try, says Mushroom then. Goodness me. So Mushroom's going to be sneezing his way around the circuit, looks like. So that's going to be interesting stuff indeed. Hopefully he'll be all right for the race tomorrow as well then, in the 100% league, which is technically 2 50% races then tomorrow, which of course, as I have to prelude then, of course, it's going to be the, I think it's the Imola Grand Prix and then Monza Grand Prix as well then, or vice versa. Here comes Real Ashton and up to the line. It's going to be a 5.5, puts himself P3 on the second row of the grid then for Red Bull. Good stuff indeed from Real Ashton indeed as well. My goodness me. Marsky is back out on circuit now. Then he is going through into turn 3. Then he looks like he is on a flying lap now, which is good stuff indeed. Then I think he's got those issues sorted. Then DeCanco improves to a 5.6. Then right behind his teammate, a Red Bull second row, I should say. Goodness me, getting himself carried away there. But Red Bull then looking good indeed, up into P3 and 4 then for the time being. Smithy Almighty then might have something to say about that. Then as Smithy goes P2 with a 4.8. Then fantastic. And Dynamo Dan then crosses the line with a 4.9 right behind then in row 2. Fantastic stuff indeed so far in qualifying. Then Marsky then is looking to set those timing sheets alight then as we go through. He's gone a bit too wide then into sector 3. Unfortunately then that's going to be an invalidation then, unfortunately for Marsky. He's not had a good rub of the green then in the first couple of minutes of qualifying here, has he? So unfortunately we'll have to peel his way back into the pit lane, I think there. No, he's going to go again then, is Marsky. Then goodness me. Not quite sure what the strategy is there for the Mercedes team, but he's going again nonetheless. Then Rosa Sky is back in the car then after missing last week as well then. Let's see what he can do here tonight then, and can he get his championship form back on track as well. Then Umabro jumps up to P5 with a 5.3. His teammate is on circuit going through into sector 2 now. Immune system shot, says Serious Mushroom. Kamara Racer, even Alex, and hello all racers and good luck, Bronze as well then. Thank you very much, Kamara Racer indeed, and I'm sure Bronze will be very keen on having a bit more extra luck as well then as we go through then into the final couple of corners for Rosa Sky. Then this is where the championship contenders then start to fight as well. Then they've got half a season to try and get themselves into that top 3. Can Rosa Sky start the charge now? Then he goes up to P2 with a 4.7. Then fantastic onto the front row then for the Kick Sauber team. Brilliant stuff indeed. Then Umabro then is P6. Then he's looking pretty good indeed for both kick Saubers out there at the moment. Then Marsky is back out on circuit then, but unfortunately I think he's just doing a bit of tyre testing at the moment, as he's not been able to get a lap on the timing sheets just yet. Then Rocket Lee then is rocketing around. Then let's see what Rocket Lee can do then, because he is pretty quick indeed in qualifying. Let's see what the Aston Martin can do then as we go up towards that crest of the hill then, and now down towards the penultimate turn. Then the Haas getting out of the way as we go through the final couple of corners for Rocket Lee. Then Rocket Lee flying through the final corner now. Then let's see what it's going to be up to the line for Aston Martin. It's going to be P2 right behind his teammate with a 4.5 there, and an all Aston Martin front row lockout once again then, to be fair. I think we've seen that a couple of times already in bronze so far this season, but it's looking pretty formidable once again then for the Aston Martin team. Then Mr. Lee jumps up to P6 with a 5.0, then just ahead of Ballin, then who's back out on circuit then heading down towards turn 4. We'll see what he can do then later on. Then we've got Liam then, who's also on a lap as well, then heading through turn 3. And Marvsky then has got himself all together again then to go for another attempt here. I think those tyres on the softs there, he's done 5 laps at the end of this one on those soft compound tyres. I'm not sure they're going to be too happy with him then at the end of this qualifying run then for Marvsky then, but he has gone purple then in sector 2, which is not too shabby indeed. So we'll see what he can do then. At least the mask will stop the sprays, says sorry, Howsey, sorry. Goodness me. No, not the feeling mushroom then. Hang in there as well. This is Howsey. Then has Stars been naughty then. Reflection with a 4.0 is quick as well. Malsky then does a 5.4 then on those very old soft compound tyres. At least a competitive time indeed there, but I'm not sure those soft compound tyres are going to be too happy with him after that stint in this qualifying session. Then Liam then stays P12 for the time being. Then Howsey, then Jake the Slayer, then Vintage, Goddard and Stephen Anthony are on, or not on track just yet. But they haven't set a time just yet. Then Goddard has invalidated his time there, but he's got enough battery to go again then on a second attempt around here. Then Reflection is coming through into he's gaining time as well then into sector 2. Then my goodness me, then Reflection is looking pretty quick. He's not going to be looking pretty quick because he's invalidated his time. Then I've jinxed him. I'm very sorry there, Reflection. But he was gaining a bit of time then in the first couple of sectors. Then Ballin then has improved to a 5.2. Then P7 for the time being for the McLaren. Marvsky then is looking to get himself back in the pit lane. I'm sure that those old tyres then are definitely not going to be his friend anymore then in this race. I don't imagine. Liam then is also coming back into the pits as well, I imagine as well. So that's status quo there. We've got Goddard and he's back out on circuit as well. Then Goddard then he's not using the ERS or the DRS, to be fair then. So maybe he's just having a bit of a sighter lap then to get himself back around. Then Umabro back out on circuit as well then for Kick Sauber, looking to improve on P8 as it stands. So Hungry Stars, Winnie and Serious Mushroom then are definitely not going to set a time in qualifying. Then Jake the Slayer is coming out of the pit lane now. Then Howsey yet to come out of the box, and same for Vintage. Stephen Anthony has made his way through as well now. Points will be a bonus to Slayer as well then, as we got everyone had everyone had no practice, been off work with bad back, so hopefully will survive. So hopefully he does survive then for Jake the Slayer, that is. He's on track now then to get himself a first time on the board. We'll come back to that one as well. Then Goddard then is starting off a lap once again then, but again, seems to be struggling then with the ERS and DRS usage out there then, unfortunately, for Goddard. I'm not sure if he's just doing the same sort of thing as Marvsky was on his teammate, because maybe Mercedes are collecting data out there then instead of doing the qualifying. But it seems that way, to be fair, at this point. But maybe Mercedes have got some other strategy there under their belts then as we go through then in towards turn 3. And Umabro is almost a tenth up on his previous time. That will put him into the range of P7 then. Can he find a couple more tenths? Then he's going to get a nice tow then from his teammate then down towards turn 4 then. Rosa Sky then doing a fantastic bit of teamwork there for Kick Sauber as we head into turn 4 then, and Umabro is going to have some time to gain from that, I'm sure, as we head now into sector 3. Let's see what it's going to be then for Umabro then in sector 2. Then that extra bit of tow then will be very helpful indeed down the straights. He's gained almost 2.5 tenths, and that's going to be fantastic stuff indeed if Umabro can keep it all together then, and maybe even find some more time then in this final sector then as we go through then down the hill. Once again, there's a bit of traffic ahead of us. I think they're just coming back into the pit lane, that Alpine, so they have got out of the way just in time then. Good stuff indeed. Then here comes Umabro then up to the line. What's it going to be then for the Kick Sauber driver? It's going to be a 5.3. What? Oh. Goddard has retired then in the pit lane, so he's not going to be able to set time in qualifying either, unfortunately, then for Goddard. So Umabro then he's done a 5.0. Goodness me. He did improve then. Goodness, it just froze on the timing screen for me. But Yumabro up into P7. Then he has got himself onto a 5.0 now, and only a few thousandths away then from Mr. Elite then in P6. Then so Yumabro looking pretty good out here then here in Austria, I should say. Then we've got Stephen Anthony back out on circuit. Then he's improved to P9 with a 5.2 then for the Williams team. And so far so good there. Real Ashton back out on circuit as well, then heading down the hill then to finish off another lap then for the Red Bull team. Let's see what Real Ashton can do then from P11. What's it going to be this time then for the Red Bull driver? Then it's P11 still, but he has improved. So a 5.4 then is now the new benchmark then for Real Ashton. Then Rosa Sky then crosses the line, then goes P3 and up into the second row of the grid, then ahead of his championship rival then and championship leader, or joint championship leader I should say, Dynamo Dan then in the Williams as well then. So looking good indeed then. Rosa Sky looking to challenge the Aston Martins as well as Dynamo Dan, as well as Smithy then and Mr. Elite, who might be able to improve a bit more then into this next lap as well then as we go down towards turn 4 for Mr. Elite. What's it going to be then for the Alpine machine? Slayer invalidated last corner then twice before my my run then. Yeah, because it gives you, if you invalidate last corner, then it gives you this and next lap invalidated, doesn't it? So you basically have to go around again for nothing, and it's a bit of a pain in the arse. Oh dear, as Mr. Elite has had a bit of a pain in the arse there, then going over the curve, then that's cost him, and it's invalidated his time there as well. Then Ballot then looking to improve then in P8 for the time being. He's got a few thousands under his belt there, but into sector 3, can he find some more time to try and rival Yumabro for that P7 position then and try and get himself ahead of Mr. Elite potentially as well then as we go down the hill then for Ballon. Then let's see what it's going to be then this time for the McLaren driver then heading up to the line. It's going to be close indeed. Then here he comes, and it's going to be a 4.9, puts himself P6 ahead of Mr. Elite then on to the third row of the grid there. Good stuff indeed. Wow, Marski then next across the line then for the Mercedes team. Then let's see what Marski can do. Can he improve on that 5.4 that he set previously? Yes, he can. He could improve massively. That's a 4.6 then from Marski. Then puts himself on the second row of the grid then. A fantastic lap indeed. Rocket Lee has improved as well then to, well, he stays P2, but it's a 4.3 now for Rocket Lee then, looking very good indeed. And maybe trying to give his teammate a bit of a tow here as well then, but Reflection is on an out lap, so maybe it's not going to be maybe it's roles reversed then. Sorry, I'm getting all mixed up as well out here. Vintage then has done a 5.6 then for 5.7 sorry for the time being. P14 Jake the Slayer and Housey back out on circuit as well then. Where are they? They're very close indeed on track, to be fair. Housey then first across the line for McLaren, and let's see what Housey can do then on his first timed appearance. Then it's P13 with a 5.6 then, and same for Slayer as well then, P14, and knocking both the Haas drivers down one spot then as well then for those two as they cross the line. Then good stuff indeed. So unfortunately for Styles, Winnie, Mushroom and Goddard, they're not going to be able to set a time on the board here, but we will have to wait and see then what the rest of the order is going to do then with the remaining 16 drivers then, with a few minutes left of qualifying to go here in Austria. We'll find out very shortly then as we go through then into turn 1 with our pole sitter, or preliminary pole sitter, because we can't say it just yet. Then 3 minutes left then to crown our pole sitter, but at the moment then Reflection, as Real Ashton has retired in the pit lane, so unfortunately not going to be able to improve on P11 at best then for Real Ashton. Then into turn 3. Oh dear, locking up the back end and also removing the back end almost then from the rest of the car was Reflection. And as he spun up the rear tyres there heading down towards turn 3, then is he going to be able to keep it all together then for this lap, or will he have to go into harvest mode then? That Aston Martin has gone for a spin, and that's a big spin indeed then, and I'm not sure he's going to be too happy with that then. Potentially that could be his qualifying hopes then done and dusted for the remainder of this session then, but he doesn't need to worry too much because he's got 3/10 gap then to his teammate and rivals then in P2 and below as well then, so it's not all doom and gloom just yet for Reflection then, but can he go again is the question, as we've got a Haas then of Vintage coming back through then. I think Vintage might be heading through then into, oh dear, he wants to slow down a bit there because there's a very slow Aston Martin then coming back to the pits as well for Reflection. Then have they got time to get themselves back out and go again then? We will wait and see, but it's going to be quite tight indeed. 2 minutes left of the session and I'm not sure there is enough time unfortunately, so that's it. Reflection then is done and dusted. Same for Real Ashton then, same for Styles, Winnie, Sirius, Mushroom and Goddard then qualifying done and dusted for those 6 drivers as we get ourselves pouring out of the pit lane for the rest of the field then, going through then into into the final couple of minutes of qualifying, I should say. Then Stephen Anthony is on track, though, looking to improve on that P10 position as we go through then in towards turn 3 and gaining almost a tenth and a half then in the first sector as well. Then that's looking promising stuff indeed. On the power we go then with the Williams driver then heading down towards turn 4 now is the next braking zone, the next target then as we head into this heavy braking zone as well. Then braking very late because it's a downhill camber as we go through, and now into sector 2 over the curves a bit slightly there as well. Then we've got a lot of traffic then as well then as we head through then into sector 3 momentarily. Hopefully that traffic gets himself out of the way then as we go through now into sector 3 then. He's gaining time still, I should say, then for the Williams team as we go into the final sector this time. Then the final qualifying lap then for Stephen Anthony. Then what's it going to be then on those timing sheets as we get into the final last couple of seconds now of qualifying. 1 minute left to go then as we head now around the final corner. Then Stephen Anthony then up to the line. What's it going to be for the Williams driver? Then it's going to be a 4.9, puts himself P9 and ahead of Umabra. Then he does improve by 2.5 tenths there, but the gap was so significant. Then the 2.5 tenths then just gaining 1 place, unfortunately, at the end of that qualifying run. But there's still time to go. There's a yellow flag then. I think it's Palin then just starting off a lap then as well. Then Umabra, no, it's not Umabra. Where's Rosa Sky then? Rosa Sky is coming through the final corner. Then Rosa Sky then is looking to try and challenge the Aston Martins. Then can he challenge? It's P3 then with a 4.5 then, and just ahead of Marvsky this time for the time being, that is as well, because Marvsky might have something to say about that then. But Rosa Sky then on the second row of the grid then for now, then looking good indeed. Stephen Anthony just getting out of the way then of those coming through on their flying laps as well then as we head in towards turn 4. Then where is that kick sour then of Umabra as we head into that final corner as well. Then this time for the next kick sour as well. Then round that final corner we go then, and up to the line for Umabra. It's P10 then, improves then by a 76,000th of a second then to get himself into the top 10 for now. We've got Liam then, who's going to have a bit of a say in that as well, then I'd imagine. And here comes Liam then up to the line. It's going to be P12 for Liam. Then a 5.3 puts himself in the mix as well then for the Haas team. Then where is that Mercedes, I hear you ask? Then Marvsky then does improve, I should say, but stays P4. We've got times tumbling in. Then Smithy then gets himself up into P3, then into the front, into the second row of the grid. Then goodness me. Then Rocket Lee improves to a 4.1. He's so close indeed, but he's still on the front row of the grid then, alongside his teammate there as well. Then Rosa Sky coming back to the pits. Then Ballot then up to the line for the final time from McLaren. Then it's going to be P7 still for him then, unfortunately for Ballot, then not improving enough then in that final sector. Mr. Elite then P8 in the pit lane as well. Then Stephen Anthony P9. DeCanker then stays P11. He's back in the pit lane as well then for the Red Bull team. Then Jake the Slayer is unfortunately invalidated his time there somewhere because he's coming back in the pits as well then. So that is qualifying done and dusted then. And it is Reflection then, your pole sitter for the Austrian Grand Prix. Then once again Reflection and both Aston Martins, to be fair, because Rocket Lee then in P2 is not far away. But both Aston Martins looking formidable here in qualifying pace as well then. Good stuff indeed to see. Wow, I'm out of breath. That was just qualifying then. We've got 36 laps of racing to come now, making sure everyone keeps it nice and clean then in the first couple of laps, couple of corners as well then, and we'll see how it goes as it unfolds then. But Rocket Lee then P2 tonight then, unfortunately for Rocket Lee then. I'm not sure he's going to be too happy about that, to be honest, but he's done a good job then nonetheless then. He's going to be challenging his teammate then into the first couple of corners as well then, on the opening laps as we go through then qualifying then done and dusted. We'll run through the classification just in a jiffy, and then we'll get ourselves into the race then in a couple of minutes time as well then. And there it is then. So both the Aston Martins locking up the front row once again. Then Smithy Almighty, the championship joint championship leader, then P3, Rosa Sky in P4, Marvsky P5, Dynamo Dan P6, Balint P7, Mr. Elite P8, then Stephen Anthony in P9, Umabro rounds off the top 10, then DeCanco in P11, then Liam in P12, Real Ashton P13, Housie P14, Slayer in P15, Vintage P16. Unfortunately for Styles, he has a quali ban, so that's why he's not been able to set a time on the board. Then Winnie, Serious Mushroom and Godos then could not get a time on the board either. Good luck. I will try not to sneeze, says Mushroom. Good stuff. The aim of the game is not to sneeze, but there we are then. We'll run through the formation lap in just a jiffy then. Nice and sunny to start off here in Austria. Then we'll run through that in just a jiffy then as we get our lovely word from our sponsors. And we are back in action then, just about to get the formation lap underway as we start off then for a very sunny start to this Grand Prix. Of course, we did have a sunny start yesterday for Silver as well then, but unfortunately it didn't end out that way, did it? It started to rain as the race went on. But there we go then. As we go through then onto the starting formation lap, then we've got a mix of medium and hard compound tyres. Not a soft compound tyre in sight then, but that's probably for the best bet then, because they don't last that long, do they? So there we go. But we've got hard compound tyres for our... Oh dear, reflection having a bit of a problem there, locking up then into the third turn. But we've got hard compound tyres then for our pole sitter, then reflection, then medium compounds then for Rocket Lee, Smithy and Rosa Sky then right behind him as well. So they might be challenging for the lead very early on then in this stint as well. Then Marsky opting for the hard compound tyres, Dynamo Dan and Ballant opting for the mediums as well then right behind him. So again, could be under pressure then in the first few laps as well. Then Mr. Elite, Stephen Anthony, Umabro, DeCanco and Liam then the mid-pack then opting for the hard compound tyres, as we've got Real Ashton and Housey on the medium compound as well. Then P13 and 14 for them respectively as well there. Jake the Slayer in P15 on the hard compound tyres, as is Vintage in P16. Hungry Styles then after that qualifying ban opting for the medium compound tyres to start the Grand Prix. Then let's see if we can get a quick start here in the Austrian hills, I should say. Then Winnie opting for the hard compound tyres, Mushroom for the mediums, and Goddard's then on the hard compound tyre as well. So this is the order then to start off the Grand Prix. Then I'm sure we'll see some chopping and changing as we go through. Then will the tyres hold on is the other question for all these drivers as well. They need to make sure they get those tyres to as long as possible in this stint then, but they don't last very long around here, of course. But there we are then, lining ourselves up on the grid then for the start of the Austrian Grand Prix. And hopefully we get a better camera angle than this as we get ourselves started. I will, no, I won't do that. I want to do that. And now we go. Do we go? Hopefully we go. So we're waiting. There we go. The 5 red lights coming on here in Austria then for the start of the Austrian Grand Prix. The 5 red lights are out, or on. The 5 red lights are out, and away we go then. It's a good start then from Reflection. Then Smithy also gets a good start as well then for the Ferrari team. Rocket Lee struggling then in the Aston Martin heading towards turn 1. He's got the inside there on those medium compound tyres. Rosa Sky sneaks through then up into P3, and it's a clean getaway I think for every driver then in the back of the order as well. Then going down the hill, then up the hill I should say. They're all turn 3 then. Rocket Lee then looking to fight back then. There's a McLaren and there's a Williams then having a battle into turn 4. There's a contact then from the Alpine behind us as well then, my goodness me. And what's happened then? Rocket Lee's gone off the circuit there at turn 3 then. He's got himself back underway quickly enough though, but he's ghosting then unfortunately. And that's ERS light flashing away then for Rocket Lee as well then. So I'm not sure what's going on there between the two of them as we go through then into turn 4, and it's close indeed. And oh dear, there's also contact between the two of them there as well as we go through into turn 5 now. Next down the inside goes Rocket Lee, then he's got the place back then as we head into sector 3 then on the first lap. Then Rocket Lee looking for a move then on Mr. Elite as well there as we go through then, as Mr. Elite then has gained 2 places there as well then. Unfortunately, Real Ashton's dropped down 4 places then. Winnie has got himself past the Canco for a gain of 5 places as well. Then Rocket Lee passes Mr. Elite then in towards the penultimate corner then. Good move indeed, and I missed it, but it looked like a good move because they managed to get themselves through there unscathed, which is fair play indeed. Then Rocket Lee back up into P6 now and chasing down Dynamo Dan and Marsky. Then Marsky's lost out then on the hard compound tyres to the top 3 already then, and DRS has now been enabled. Then Dynamo Dan might look to sneak his way through then in towards turn 3 now. He's going for the inside then into the top of the hill. Then Smithy takes the lead of the Grand Prix. Then Rocket Lee, Reflection, locking up then into turn 3 as we go through then down the order. Then we've got Reflection taking back the lead from Smithy. Then Rocket Lee looking to get himself back past Marsky and Dynamo Dan, but Dynamo Dan's held on I should say somehow into turn 3 there, with DRS now available for Marsky. Then down the hill into turn 4, not quite then, the gap was not there then as we head down the hill then once again. Then Real Ashton and Jake the Slayer having a bit of a ding-dong battle here then for the Racing Bull and Red Bull team. Real Ashton holds on to the place for the time being as well there. Good stuff indeed. Yeah, it's held status quo for the time being as well there. So here we are then, we're heading on to lap 3 momentarily. Then Smith, who did take the lead very briefly then, but Reflection battled back then very quickly as well then on the exit turn 3. Hungry Styles then and Winnie having a bit of a battle as well. Then Winnie then has got himself through, I think, up into P12. Liam picked up a penalty then, but penalties might be a bit rife around this circuit tonight then, as here he comes then challenging Umabro for that P10 position. Then down the inside at turn 1, then it's not an easy overtaking spot here, but they've got themselves through, and Liam then takes P10 away then from the kick salver of Umabro. Then up in the order then we've got Dynamo Dan and Marsky switching places. Then Marsky has gone through then up into P4, then back up into P4 I should say. Rocket Lee then stuck behind, then Ballett has also closed in as well, then as has Mr. Elite then and Stephen Anthony. Then they're on medium compound tyres I believe. No they're not then, as Ballett's on medium compound tyres I should say. But there we go then, there's Ballin then going for a dive bomb there, and that was very late, a day late and a dollar short I think, as Martin Brundle would say, but very, very true indeed as well, to be fair, as we go through then into lap 3 then. Down the hill then we've got 1.9 second gap between the top 3, and Marsky then in P4, the top 3 trying to check out then of course Reflection on his hard compound tyres. Won't be too worried about the pressure then from those on the mediums just yet then, because of course if he can weather them out then he can get himself through. Ballett and Mr. Elite are battling through the final couple of corners there. That is an odd place to be battling. Then Stephen Anthony's also mixed up in that as well. Then Winnie's coming through as well to catch up to this fight as we go on to the start finish straight then once again then. And Mr. Elite then is going to go for the inside then. Is he going down the inside then? He has gone for the move then down the inside then, and Mr. Elite then has got himself through, and I think Ballett turned it a bit early there to be honest, but there we go then, as Stephen Anthony now senses a move then as well then down the outside I should say, round the outside in towards turn 3 then, and not quite then, as Stephen Anthony and Winnie's got himself his nose involved there as well then, and Winnie's got himself up into P9 as well on his hard compound tyres then. Good start indeed from Winnie then. Here comes Stephen Anthony then, he's got, oh dear, there's almost contact then between Mr. Elite and Stephen Anthony. Then into turn 4 then Stephen Anthony in the Williams has got himself up into P7 now. Fantastic. Here comes Rocket Lee then down the inside at turn 5, not quite then on the Mercedes, and Marsky then it's got to be very early to try and catch Marsky out, because he's a league racing veteran, isn't he, of course, in his Marsky, looking to try and catch up to Dynamo Dan. Then Dynamo Dan's got himself up into P4. We've got a yellow flag up there. It's a problem then for Jake the Slayer and DeCanco, is it? They're off the circuit at turn 5 and 6 then. Jake the Slayer then and DeCanco, goodness me, then is there damage then for the Red Bull and the Racing Bull? Then they've got themselves back underway, but I don't think there's any damage there to DeCanco, that is. Is there some sort of issue for Jake the Slayer? Then we'll have to wait and see. But he seems to be all right then. He's cracking on as we go through then into the penultimate corner then, or maybe there is some sort of damage then, because that yeah, there is left end plate damage unfortunately for Jake the Slayer. Then can he soldier it out? Then Marsky then back past Dynamo Dan, then in towards turn 3, then up the hill we go then, and Marsky now takes P4 away from the Williams driver, then the championship leader as well then, as we go through then. We've got Winnie and Mr. Elite having a battle, then Stephen Anthony holding on to P7, but he's going to be under pressure now from that Ferrari then soon in towards turn 4, as here he comes then down towards turn 4 we go. He's a bit too far back then to make a move then as we go through. Then Ballett's gone through though. What is that then from Ballett? Oh my god, there's contact then, and wow, goodness me, Mr. Elite's being wiped out there as well. Then I think Winnie then and Ballett then were also involved. My god, then that was well, not quite sure what happened there then, to be honest. Mr. Elite then unfortunately it was a bit of a bystander then as well. Then he's been taken out then, as I think he's got damage as well then at the exit of turn 4. Can he get himself back underway quickly enough though? I think he has, but if he got damage on that car, we'll have to wait and see from a better camera angle, to be honest. I can't change the camera angle. Why can't I check? There we go. Yes, that left end plate unfortunately damaged then for Mr. Elite. Then can he get himself through? Yeah, he's carrying on as well. Then same as Slayer then, I think. So maybe they're just trying to soldier on to keep the stint alive then in this race as well. Then unfortunately for DeCanco and Slayer as well, then we didn't see what happened between the two of them there, but they had some sort of issues. Then Rosa Skies had an issue because he's dropped off the back of Reflection and Smithing massively as well here as we head down towards turn 4. It's now a 2-horse race then in the lead of the Grand Prix for now. Slayer in the pits as well then, so Slayer has called it a day then on that wing damage as well. Then he's got himself into the box then, some medium compound tyres then, and a new front wing then, and back underway quickly enough as well. Then Ballett then has got himself past Rocket Lee then. No, he hasn't, because Ballett has had an issue. Then Rocket Lee has what's happened to Rocket Lee then? He's right behind Stephen Anthony then as well then, goodness me. So Stephen Anthony and Rocket Lee have come together then. No, it's not Stephen Anthony and Rocket Lee. Rocket Lee and Ballett have come to, I think, I'm not sure. I'm confused as well what's going on here, to be honest. But no, I thought Rocket Lee was challenging Dynamo Dan and Marsky, wasn't he? So so whatever's happened there, as I'm not sure at all, to be honest. But Yeah, it's a bit odd that. Who knows? We'll go on to lap 7 then. We're cracking on then. Rocket Lee then trying to get himself back past Stephen Anthony. Then Stephen Anthony on the hard compound tyres. Then he's going to be in good form, I think, then in this latter part of the stint. Then we got through then for Marsky. Then Hello Housey, in the McLaren. Goodness me, I don't know what colour cars or what type of cars they are there, but there's some sort of car out there. Housey then up into P11 then, and now chasing down Styles, who's got himself up into P10 now for the time being. After that qualifying ban, then it's not hampered him too much, and as he now tries to challenge for P9 then, but Rozasky and Marsky are switching places then. Rozasky up into Marsky up into P3. With all of that, then Rozasky starting to struggle. Rozasky's having an issue. Then, goodness me, he's off on the grass. Then, and Rozasky then is all over the place. Then, unfortunately, they're trying to get the power down a bit too early. Then, is Rozasky maybe needs to come into the pits and sort that car out. Then, but has he got damage now from that contact? Then, I think there is damage then to Rozasky. Then, goodness me, what has happened out there? Then, well, he was close indeed to Smithy and Marsky, and potentially that's what's happened. Then he maybe has gone into the back of Smithy or something like that. I'm not sure, but he is now into the pit lane and to get that car serviced as well. Then Stephen Anthony takes over P5, but he's under pressure from Rocket Lee. Then Winnie as well coming through, as is Styles as well here. Then Rozasky into the box is going to call it down the medium compound tyre. Then I'm sure, but has he got that damage? He has got the damage, and has he fixed the damage? And is the other question. As we go through, then there is a wing then waiting for Rozasky, thankfully. Hopefully there's no glitches like where they did that, where they don't put the front wing on. As we go through, then down the inside goes Rocket Lee, locking up into turn 3. Then as we go up the hill, and he has got the place. No, he hasn't got the place. Then as Stephen Anthony's got back through, then Rocket Lee then is off the circuit. Then he's got himself back on again. Then he's I think it's just the traction out of that turn 3. Then it's difficult indeed. Then even with medium traction control, isn't it as well? Then to be fair, Rocket Lee then not having a good time out there, unfortunately. Then at this point of the race, then but hopefully he can get himself back underway. Then I can't keep up with the action, sorry. Mabro's passing Housey then for P9. Hard compound tyres are the better one to be on now as well as we go through then in the rest of the order. Then medium compound tyres, I think everyone's going to be trying to think about switching off of those as quickly as possible now, as the hard's definitely the better tyre. Then, what was that? I thought that was Goddard's then, but he's managed to keep it under control then as we go through then, and Rocket Lee has been passed by Ballint as well, then up into P13 for the McLaren. Rocket Lee is in the pit lane to get those medium compound tyres off the car quickly enough then as we go through then into lap 9 now. To be fair, it's probably about the pit window for the medium compound tyres anyway, I would imagine, because if you're going to try and do a hard medium or vice versa, then it's probably about the time to pit for those hard compound tyres. Rocket Lee has put the hard compound tyres on and back underway. Let's see what he can do then on those hard compound tyres as well. Then Winnie has passed Stephen Anthony then for P5. Stephen Anthony then is putting on a good show as well then, but Winnie now on the hard compound tyres. Is he trying to fight back then? Stephen Anthony then into the braking zone, needs to make sure he doesn't keep weaving all over the place then, because Rocket Styles. I'm getting everyone's name confused here tonight, as Real Ashton and Goddard's are battling as well. Then Goddard's up into P14 now on the hard compound then, so hard compound's definitely the way to go then. Medium starting to fall off here in this Grand Prix as we go through then into lap 10 momentarily for the race leaders then. Medium compound tyres for Smithy then, but is he just keeping those tyres in check then, being in the DRS then of the hard runner then of Reflection and the pole sitter as well then? We'll wait and see. But as we go through then onto lap 10, then Smithy stays out then. Dynamo Dan also stays out. He's stuck behind Marsky for the time being as well. Then we've got pit stop action then for Hello Housey as well then in the McLaren. Then he's calling it a day then on the medium compound as well then. So maybe there is a few more to follow then in the next lap or so then as well as we go through then. Pit stop action done and dusted then. He's been held in the pit lane though for some reason, as we know. He's been teleported out of the pit lane now then for Housey, and back underway then. Rozasky then in P18 then. Unfortunately then he's not had a good time on the medium compound tyres either then, as he's gone onto the hard compound, same as Rocket Lee as well. Then Jake the Slayer then is looking to get himself back in the race. If there's a safety car, then that brings Slayer back in as well, of course. But there we are then, lap 10 then, halfway through. Smithy Almighty still keeping Reflection honest then, as Mushroom has got himself past Vintage then into turn 4, then up into P9 then for Mushroom. Hopefully he didn't sneeze his way past, but he was looking all right then for the time being as well then on this medium compound tyre. But as I said, it's probably now time to be thinking of a pit stop, and Smithy then is thinking of a pit stop as well then, and calling it a day then on those medium compound tyres for Ferrari. Marsky carries on, Dynamo Dan then championship contenders then both in the pit lane, then both championship leaders in the pit lane as well, I should say. Dynamo Dan and Smithy, then hard compound tyres going on the Ferrari, then Dynamo Dan is going to be seeing his championship rival then disappear out of the pit lane then as he gets himself into the box there as well. Then Liam then up into P5 then, looking good indeed for Liam as we go through then into, got damage then for you Mabro, then that left, that right end plate missing as well then for the kick sour, then goodness me, there's all sorts of damage and action going on here in bronze tonight then in the first third of the race, I should say. Into turn 3 then, Umabro then doesn't make the move then into that turn as well. Then we've got Smithy and Martin now on fresh hard compound tyres, then he's in P8, then he's got Vintage, Umabro, then Liam in Stephen Anthony to try and dispatch them before he gets to his teammate of Winnie then in P3 I should say. Then Dynamo Dan passing Mr. Elite then, Mr. Elite then starting to struggle I think on those tyres as well. Has he got damage as well then? There's damage everywhere I think, to be honest. Everyone's got damage as we go down the inside then for Dynamo Dan, then passing Real Ashton then into turn 4, then he gets himself through and up into P11 now, 4 seconds the next target then of Goddard's then, who's stuck behind Ballant as well. Then Ballant then starting to struggle on his medium compound tyres, is bringing Goddard's into play here with the DRS window as well. So far so good then, a third of the way through the Grand Prix then, just about then, as we go through into lap 12 now as well. Then Marsky and Marsky in Reflection and Winnie of course I think will carry on then. Same for Stephen Anthony as well, go through then in towards turn 1 as well. Then DRS still available for the Williams driver. Then Smithy has passed Vintage down the main straight, then up into P7 now for Smithy. Then can he gain quickly enough then to catch up to Reflection as well. Then Mr. Elite into the pit lane, then calling it a day on the hard compound tyres here for the Alpine machine. Then Styles has pitted in for the hard compound tyres. I completely missed it, but he's now up into P15 and chasing down Rosa Sky then as well. Then Rosa Sky was challenging for the top 3 as well then, wasn't he? So potentially that could mean that Styles will get himself into the mix as well. Then if he can get himself through and past the Kanko here up in towards turn 3, then can he go down the inside? Yes he can. Then he's got the inside line then, and up into P14 he goes then for Styles. Or not then, because Kanko's coming back at him then as well as we go down towards turn 4. But they're going to be side by side, Red Bull versus Racing Bulls. Then we've seen a lot of that already in the first third of this Grand Prix. But this time the Racing Bulls comes out then in the lead then as well. Of course, the Kanko yet to pit then in this Grand Prix as well. Smithy and Umapro switch places. Then Smithy on his fresh hard compound tyres, breezing through the field, and he's now got Liam then as his next target to try and get himself past. Then down towards down into lap 13. Sorry, as here he goes. Then I think he's going to make an easy move of this then with the DRS as we go down towards turn 1 then, or up towards turn 1 I should say. Up the hill then we go then into turn 1, and we've got the move done for Smithy then up into P5 now. 3 seconds the gap then to Stephen Anthony then, and then he's got another half a second or so then towards the podium places with his teammate holding on to that P3 position then. Hungry Stars passes Real Ashton then for P13. Next target is Rosa Sky, but Rosa Sky is also pitted for the fresh hard compound tyres. Dynamo Dan is 5 seconds up the road. Then Goddard's and Ballant are battling as well. Then Goddard's in is on the hard compound tyres. Then this is where it's going to get dicey indeed, because Dynamo Dan is also in the mix here as well. Then where are they? As we go down the hill, then there's all sorts of mixing up going on. As we go down into turn 4, then Dynamo Dan's got the move. Where's Goddard's? Goddard's is right behind us here. Oh my goodness me. Well, that could have been calamity indeed, couldn't it? But Dynamo Dan then on the fresh tyres has snuck his way through, and now 3 seconds to Vintage is his next target. Then I think he's going to be out of DRS range then, as balanced tyres are just done here in the Austrian Grand Prix so far. Then this stint has been too long then for those medium compound tyres. We've got Stephen Anthony, no it's Winnie in the pit lane. Winnie then calling it a day on the hard compound tyres at the end of lap 14. Stephen Anthony takes the podium place then, but he's now got Smithy Almighty charging down then in the Ferrari then with the other Ferrari I should say, with the hard compound tyres. Winnie going for the medium compound tyres. Then Ballant is also staying out as well then, my goodness me. So Goddard's then is not going to be too fond of Ballant's rear end, I don't think, then at the end of this Grand Prix, because Ballant then is on now 13 lap old medium compound tyres. Zumabro and Liam then having a fight then into turn 3. Then can he get himself back through? Then Zumabro's taking the place there. Styles then passing Rosa Sky then up into P11 now for Styles, then heading into turn 3, then passing the kick Sauber driver then as we go up the hill then into lap 14. Then 3 seconds the gap then to the top 10, as Goddard's then putting the pressure on then with Ballant then heading in towards turn 4, but not quite then for Goddard's then as we go through. Then Stephen Anthony's being passed by Smithy. Then Smithy is flying on those fresh tyres. Then he's got a 15-second gap to the leader, and Reflection is into the pit lane as Marsky then is next to come in. Is he coming into the pits? Yes, he is. So Smithy then will inherit the race lead, I would imagine. We'll have to wait and see, but I think he will. But of course, the Aston Martin of Reflection, now medium compound tyres going on, will be very quick indeed. Then more pit stop action, and Stephen Anthony, Yumapro, Liam and Vintage also in the pits. Unfortunately for Vintage, he's going to have to double stack behind his teammate then. He doesn't want to get in the way though of Goddard's, who's coming in as well then as we head into the pit lane for Goddard's. It is late on the brakes then, but they've got themselves slowed down indeed. Then Ballett has carried on. So Ballett then has done 15 laps now. This is his 15th lap, I should say, on the medium compound tyres. He's now got Marsky, who's just come out of the pit lane right behind him there, and that is going to be close indeed. And here comes Styles as well. Then Styles on the charge, and he's got those tyres warmed up for Styles. Then into turn 3. Is he going to go for a move? Ooh, he's gone in the back then of the Mercedes, I think there. But there we are then. As here comes Marsky now on his fresh tyres. Then he's going to have some DRS to play with. Then he's going to have the pace then to get himself past and through on the attack then in towards turn 4. Then he's got the grip then as well. Then slows the car down. Ballett hasn't got anything to fight with, I don't think, there in the McLaren, unfortunately, there as we go through then into sector 2. But the McLaren then still going then on those old medium compound tyres. It's going to be very old medium compound tyres. And well, he's got to be very careful that they don't puncture, to be honest. And Styles then is not going to be too happy with this one, is he, as well? Because he's trying to get himself past the McLaren. And can he get himself past the McLaren now into the penultimate corner? Then no, not quite. Then, oh, God, and the Rosa Sky's almost gone in the back of him there as well. Then Winnie's also been collected almost as well. Then I think Ballett then was into the pits then. So he wasn't really on the, well, he was on the racing line because that corner was horrible indeed. To be honest, there isn't a rule about pitting then at Austria because, as you see there, it can just cause more problems if you just follow the pit entry, so you can just get in the pits as per normal, to be honest. Rocket Lee then up into P11, passing Liam then and DeCanker, then Ballett then coming out of the pits then in P15. We just saw somebody going off there. We have seen someone going off there. It's a problem then for you, Matt. No, it's not you, Matt. It's DeCanker then. I think DeCanker might have gone off there at the exit of turn 1. Then we did see a bit of a glimpse of that then, but I completely missed it and then fumbled it trying to find out where it was that I was looking. But there we go. So Rocket Lee then has been passed by Liam. Then Liam then, on the attack then is Rocket Lee then going back past then in towards turn 4 then, and now up into P11, then can get himself back in the points haul as well. Then Rocket League then is in the points position then, because of course in bronze the points go down from P1 then down to P15. So everybody in the 15th position then and up can also score some points then. And of course you can get the fastest lap point as well, which is available to anybody who finishes the race, whatever your position, to be fair. So there we go. There's a bit of an update for you as we go through then. Winnie now putting the pressure on Styles. Then Styles has got himself past Ballett then, I think, because Ballett was a bit of a roadblock there, wasn't he, to the Racing Bull and the Ferrari, and Rosa Sky as well then, who's I think he might have had a bit of a ding then as well then as we go into the pits then, but he seems to be all right then. More action as well then. DeCanco in the pit lane as well here then for Red Bull. Then he's calling it there on his hard compound tyres now. Into the box we go then. Ballett then on the hard compound tyres looking to catch up to the fight as well here then. Real Ashton also going along then, chugging along as well then. Slayer as well, which is fair play to Slayer. He's still going in this race. He's on the soft compound tyres. Can he get the fastest lap of the Grand Prix and take that point away then? Oh dear, that's a bit of a problem there. But it seems to be all right, thankfully, as we go through then into lap 18 in just a jiffy then. So Smithy leads the way then by 2.4 seconds. Reflection on his fresh medium compound tyres will be closing that gap in, I would imagine, in the next couple of laps or so. But as we heard from the great Murray Walker then, catching is one thing, passing is another. Not passing is one thing, catching is another. Catching is one thing, passing is another, as Winnie is also stuck behind the Racing Bull then of Hungry Stars then heading through the final corner. Then that back end for the Ferrari then looking a bit flighty there, and that's cost him a few tenths then as well to try and get himself through then on this main straight. But it can go again then. 3 DRS zones around this circuit is quite formidable stuff indeed, isn't it? Gives you quite a lot of pace then in sector 1 and of course in sector 2 as well then. But Winnie then a bit too far back then heading in towards turn 3 then is going to have to bide his time here. Then Stephen Anthony has passed Housey then, and as he passed Serious Mushroom as well then down the inside into turn 3. It's late on the brakes and goodness me, then Mushroom then just about saves his front end from going in the back end then of Stephen Anthony. But can he power back past then? Stephen Anthony has got some penalties as well then. There's a bit of weaving going on there. I think maybe just trying to thank Mushroom, I'm not sure there, but he's got himself up into P8 now as Stephen Anthony then chasing down Rosa Sky, who's on 7 lap older tyres as well then on those hard compounds after having to pit a bit early as well then for Rosa Sky then. Hungry Stars then is going to be on a charge in the next few laps or so, I would imagine, because of course his hard compound tyres will be holding on nicely indeed compared to Marvsky's mediums in a couple of laps or so. Then under 2 seconds down the gap then for the race lead. Then Smith the Almighty being put under pressure now from Reflection. More chopping and changing as Ballant has got himself past Goddard's, or has he? Yes, he has then. So Goddard's then down to P17 for now. But Ballant, of course, is on the fresher tyres as well. Then although Goddard's on the medium compound tyres then is not too shabby as well at this point. Then Ballant then putting the pressure on Mr. Elite next as well in towards the final turn then onto lap 19 as we go along then with some more DRS then for Ballant. Then can he get himself through then and passing that Alpine car? Then we've got a very long camera angle here, but I think he's done it and he's up into P15 now. My goodness me then. And there we are then. Dynamo Dan then is holding on to P3 for the time being quite comfortably indeed as well. Then Winnie then putting pressure on Styles and can't get himself past that Racing Bull then, who's looking very racy indeed, and holding on to that P5 position is going to be very good news indeed for Styles then, after starting at the back of the grid then with the qualifying ban. Then he's got himself over to P5 and holding on to that P5 very nicely indeed as we go through. Then Rosa Sky then on the inside curve then, that's going to unsettle the car and now put him under pressure from Sirius, Mushroom and Housey as well as we go through then into lap 20 of 36 then. We've been speeding through this race, to be fair. Fantastic. Means I get to go to bed early, but I might have jinxed it now. So Rosa Sky then, unfortunately, not having a good time out there on those hard compound tyres. Then can he get another couple of laps out of those hards and then go for another set then to get himself to the end of the Grand Prix? Then he could still salvage some good points here tonight. We'll have to wait and see. Then Winnie then is now on the charge once again, then trying to mount that pressure, then heading in towards turn 3 once again on the exit. Those Stars have got a fantastic drive out of the first turn and holds on as Rosa Sky's had an issue. Then where's he gone? He's at the back of the field. Then, well, not at the back of the field, sorry. He's down behind Housey and Mushroom there, but he's got everything intact then. I think he had a spin out of the first corner then does Rosa Sky. Then he's back underway quickly enough though so I didn't even see anything. That was how quick he was back underway. Well done indeed to Rosa Sky then, as he's trying to make sure the commentator is just jinxed as much as possible. But no, it's all good then. Rosa Sky back underway then, heading in towards turn 4 then. Of course, like I said, he's going to have to pit earlier than the rest of the field, I'd imagine, then in the next lap or two for a new set of boots then as well then, because those hard compound tyres are probably starting to be worse for wear, literally. So hopefully he can get himself back underway then in this next stint. Then Reflection, that gap then not too quickly coming down then for Reflection. Medium compound tyres might be starting to struggle at this point now, to be fair. Lap 6 and onwards then for their stint as well. Then you only get a few laps then out of the medium compound tyres. So Smithy might have pulled a blinder here, starting on the medium compound, then holding on to DRS then with Reflection, and now maybe trying to power away. Then here comes Winnie, then he's closer this time then as well. Then is Winnie then heading up towards turn 3. Can he get himself through then down the inside or up the outside? Who knows where he's going to go then, but he stays behind for now. Will he be able to charge up then and go for a move then down towards turn 4? Then a good exit again for both cars as we go through then in towards turn 4, but the gap I think is just a bit too big then as we go into that turn 4 braking zone then for Winnie to make a move, and he is a bit too far back then as well then for the Ferrari driver. Then he stays P6 for now. Stephen Anthony now holding on to P7 quite comfortably now as well, because Housey and Mushroom then are having a bit of a ding-dong battle as well then for P8 and P9 for the time being. Rosa Sky looking to catch up soon as well. Then Rocket Lee as well then under pressure from Liam as we go through then into sector 2. Down the back of the order we've got Goddard's and Mr. Elite then having a bit of a fight as well then into turn 4. Then Goddard's takes the place then up into P16 then for the Mercedes driver, then and away he goes. He's on younger tyres than the Alpine as well then on those medium compounds as we go through then into lap 22 then, and here comes the attack then. Smithy then under pressure from Reflection. Now DRS available for the Aston Martin, I should say, as we head on to sector 2. And this is where the pressure gets a tenfold now for Smithy. Then he can see the Aston Martin all over his gearbox. Then we've got a problem then. We've got an Aston Martin. No, it's a kick out. Then Umabra's had an issue then at the final corner. Goodness me. He's back underway. But yes, unfortunately, and that's going to be, I'm sure, that's going to be some wing damage. We saw that. We saw a bit of debris there, I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure, to be honest, but I think it was debris. As we head into turn 1, that car understeering then should indicate there's a bit of debris there as well. And here comes Real Ashton then with some DRS. Then I think Umabra just getting out of the way, very sportsmanlike then indeed, because he knows that damage to his car then is going to have to be repaired then in the pit stop phase. Then Goddard's and Mr. Elite having a ding-dong battle indeed as well. And Goddard's then stays ahead then, but here comes Mr. Elite then over the crest of the hill, then down towards turn 4. Into the pits comes Slayer now as we got through. Then in comes Mr. Elite then up into P15 and passing his rival then of Goddard's as well then in the Mercedes. Good stuff indeed. pit stops then for Winnie. Then Winnie is calling it a day then on his medium compound tyres that very early on indeed then. So Styles has been released and he's now got a gap under 3 seconds to Marvsky as well then. That gap is coming down then for the Racing Bull driver as well then, but of course we do expect more stops to come then for a lot of the field. Winnie then into the pits then, same for Serious Mushroom as well then for the Alpine machine. And what is it going to be then? Winnie's onto the hard compound tyres, save for Serious Mushroom as well then, and back out underway then. Mr. Elite is also in the pit lane, but thankfully I think he's going to have just about enough time for his garage to get themselves sorted for the next car. Then Mr. Elite coming into the pits as well. Then Mabra also in the pits. Then Mushroom exiting the pit lane now in P15, but now on the freshest tyres as well. Then fantastic stuff indeed. Then Umabra's in for a wing change. Unfortunately for Umabra, then it was that contact then with the wall. Then as Winnie has got himself past Ballot, then has he? And here comes Winnie then on the attack, then down the inside, then into turn 4 then. And I thought that was going to be a fantastic switchback indeed then from Vintage, but he stays behind the McLaren then as well. Then as Ballot then is on slightly older hard compound tyres then compared to Winnie, but they should still feel all right. As into the pits comes Styles as well. Then so Styles calling it a day then on the hard compound tyres. Then a lap later than his counterparts then as well then, who have just pitted as well then, but Marski is staying out then on his medium compound tyres, so that's interesting stuff indeed. Stephen Anthony also stays out as well. Then into the pits comes Housey and Rosa Sky as well, and so Rosa Sky's done a fantastic stint indeed on those hard compound tyres. 16 laps then to get until to the end on another set of hards or mediums should be good enough indeed as well. Then out of the pit lane is where we're going to see all the action as well. Then here comes Hungry Styles. Then where is Winnie on the exit of turn 1? Then we go then, and here comes Styles. Then Winnie's gone through. Then Winnie has got the undercut then with that one extra lap then as we head up the hill then towards turn 3. Then can Styles stay within the DRS then as well? I think he can, which is going to be good stuff indeed then for Styles, because he wants to protect himself from those behind as well. Then Ballot then is closing in, then Vintage also as well, and their Mushroom then is looking good indeed in P12 currently, but now on a fresh set of tyres as well. Then is looking to try and charge on then out of the pit lane. Where is Mr. Elite and Goddard's? Then Mr. Elite has pitted one lap earlier, then Goddard's comes out right behind him, but he's a bit of over a second now behind. But of course he's got one lap fresher tyres as well to the end of this Grand Prix. Then that could be a godsend as well then towards the end of the Grand Prix as well. We'll have to wait and see. Then Rosa Sky back out in P15 is in the points paying positions, to be fair, so that is not all doom and gloom out there. Then we've got Housey then all over the back of we've got more action as we go into the lead of the Grand Prix. Then at turn 3 then they're ding-donging about. Then I keep saying that because they are, but here we go. Reflection takes the lead back then from Smithy. Heading into turn 4, then lock up then on the inside. Those tyres might not be that the best then for Reflection anymore. Then 10 laps on the medium compound tyres. We've seen them not do much then in the first stint. Then with about 8 or 9 laps then from some of the drivers as well there. But he has kept him going for 10 laps so far. Then will he be thinking about a pit stop very soon? Maybe Smith will be thinking about a pit stop as well then very soon as well. I'm not sure when they will be playing that card then. But here we go then through turn 3. Then Winnie and Styles are having a battle. Who's got the DRS? Winnie's got the DRS, and Winnie takes back the place then into P8 then for Winnie. Then into the pits comes Smith the Almighty, so he is calling it a day then. And can he get that one lap undercut as well then on Reflection this time? This will be fantastic news to the ears of Smithy. Medium compound tyres going on. Dynamo Dan also in the pit lane as well then for the Williams team. Then Marsley following them both in as well then in P4 currently. Then Stephen Anthony staying out then for the Williams team. Of course his teammate is in the pit, so he doesn't want to double stack then and lose time there as well then. So out of the pits comes Smith the Almighty. Then he's going to have a pretty sizable gap then, but of course he's got the fresher tyres now as well then to the end of this Grand Prix. Although I would think Reflection will pit very soon. So there we go. Stephen Anthony then head into P3. Then Liam and Winnie then coming through. Then where is Styles as well in this mix? Then can they get an undercut then on Marsky? Yes, they can. Then they've got themselves through. Then and Smithy's got himself past. Sorry, Winnie's got himself past Liam as well. Then heading in towards turn 3. Then is there going to be a late lunge then as well as you go into that heavy braking zone? Then up the hill we go. Not quite. Then Styles then trying to sneak past Liam. Then of course Liam's on older tyres as well. Then there's contact there somehow between the two of them. Then that's not good news, but they've got themselves through unscathed. And here comes Marsky on the attack on his fresh medium compound tyres. Then down the inside of turn 4. He's got the move done. Then Liam, of course, then is yet to pit in this circle for the next stint as well. Then Reflection is in the pits responding to Smithy now. Then here comes Smithy then flying through the final couple of corners. Where will he be in comparison to his race-winning rival potentially? Then we'll find out now. Here he comes then up the start-finish straight. Then he's going to get the undercut then on Reflection. Then up into P1 goes Smithy. But can he hold on to the question? Then Reflection coming out of the pit lane will be... Wow. That undercut then from Smithy has been fantastic. Then he has got himself almost a 3-second gap then to his rival as well. Then, of course, 1 lap older tyres. Then he's done the warm-up phase. Then Ballint has passed Liam. Then Liam's in the pits, calling it a day on the medium compound tyres. And let's see what he's going to go on to next then to get himself to the end of this Grand Prix here. Medium compounds, it looks like, and going on the Haas. Then Hungry Styles has passed Winnie once again, then into P5. And charging on then as well on the exit then. Winnie closes up then, but Styles then with the traction on the exit as well. Will he be safe then from Winnie, who's going to be charging along then in towards turn 4? Then he's now got Marsky for company on his fresh medium compound tyres as well. Heading into turn 4 we go. Then he's got himself unscathed, I should say, for Styles for the time being. Then Umabro has retired in the pit lane. Unfortunately for Umabro, that is he's out of the Grand Prix, which is a big shame indeed. He was unfortunately out of the points paying positions, but could have gone for that fastest lap point then to at least get himself something in this Grand Prix, as I did in Austria as well then, which was fantastic. I got the fastest lap in gold, which, imagine that, me being the fastest of everyone in gold. But there we are. Vintage has passed Mr. Elite then for P13. Then Vintage is in line for potentially a good points haul as well. There were lots of penalties stacking up around here as well. Then Housey could gain as well. Then Mushroom could gain as well. Then so could Styles and Dynamo Dan. Then Smithy's got no penalties. Reflection's got a penalty. Then goodness me, I've completely missed it. But well done indeed then for me keeping up there as well. But Reflection has got a penalty then, which is going to be costly indeed to the end of this Grand Prix. Yellow flags. It's for Slayer, I think, just getting out of the way there. Or DeCanco potentially as well then, goodness me. But yeah, I think he was just getting out of the way then of the lead cars. Then lap 28, then there's only 6 laps. Well, I can't do the maths. Then there's only 7 laps to go then at the end of this one. It's going to be we've been flying through this Austrian Grand Prix, to be fair. It's been action-packed, to say the least. Let's have a look and see what's going on then in the fastest lap realm. Then it's Reflection with a 6.7 for the time being. That'll be an extra point for him, of course, as well. Then he is chasing down Smithy then for the championship as well here. And of course, we'll have a look at the penalty situation as well, to be fair, because Reflection's got 3 seconds, which won't cost him any places at the moment then. But of course, if he does retake the lead, he will need to try and get himself a 3-second gap over Smithy then to try and hold on to that lead as well. Then Stephen Anthony's got a 3-second penalty as well then, but at the moment it's not going to be putting him under any pressure, I should say. Stephen Anthony hasn't pit from the hard compound tyres here, so he's got 14 seconds. Well, yes, he's got, what is it? He's got a 10-second gap. No, he's got a 2-second gap to his teammate. But will he be starting to think about a pit stop then? He's maybe a bit too late now as well then for Stephen Anthony. And that racing ball then is all over the back of him as well then, unfortunately. Not quite sure what's going on there. Then Winnie's got 9 seconds of penalties. Then he's chasing down Styles then, but Styles won't be too worried about that because both Winnie and Marvsky right behind him have got penalties then. So if he just stays within the range, he will be safe. He'll be able to get those places back then, of course, for Styles. But he doesn't need to worry about it too much then, because when he's got 9 seconds of penalties, then Rocket Lee is passing Vintage then for P13, then back in the race then for Rocket Lee, back in the points haul as well. Then he's going to get himself another few positions as well, I imagine, as he gets himself through this order. But there we are. Then Marsky's got 3 seconds, Ballant's got 3 seconds, so Mushroom could gain then on Ballant as well. Then Rosa Sky's got 12 seconds, so Housey could get promoted as well, then up another place in this Grand Prix. Then Rocket Lee then could get himself within the range of Rosa Sky as well, then and get himself into the top 10 if it goes his way. Then Vintage also in command as well then, with no penalties for the time being. I might have jinxed him now, which I'm very sorry indeed. Mr. Elite then 3 seconds, Goddard's with 9 seconds as well, then Real Ashton is 3, same for his teammate DeCanco then, and Slayer's got 12 seconds, but he's still fair play indeed for Slayer, and he's soldiering on then, and maybe hoping to go for a fastest lap point then in the latter stages of this Grand Prix. Then Dynamo Dan has passed his teammate then into P3. And now Stephen Anthony dropping down into P4. The gap 4.5 seconds in. Is Stephen Anthony going to try and get to the end of the Grand Prix on these tyres then? It might be costly indeed though, and it's not going to be very helpful indeed that Slayer's also all over the back of him then. Winnie and Marsky are having a bit of a battle as well. Then Marsky now up into P6 then. It's taken him a bit of time then on those medium compound tyres to get himself past Winnie. Then as Ballant and Mushroom have switched places as well. Then Ballant now down to P9, Mushroom up into P8 here. Can he get himself further gain then and get himself in the range of the penalties for Winnie as well? Then I think Winnie's got 9 seconds, so Mushroom is already in that range for now. We'll wait and see then. Stephen Anthony is into the pits then, so he is calling it a day then on his hard compound tyres. A very late call indeed then from Stephen Anthony then. I'm not sure it's the optimum strategy, but we'll find out then after the Grand Prix how it's going to fare then for how it's going to fare, I should say, then for Stephen Anthony. Then he is on to a set of medium compounds again, then, so he's back underway. He will be behind Hello Housey there as well, then, but he's going to be on the freshest tyres of the field. And in this last 5 laps or so, then can he get himself, can he storm on then and get himself back into the bigger points haul as well? Then we'll find out now, as Ballint is steaming up the inside there as well. Then at turn 3, there's contact between the two of them, I think there, or just about. Then Mushroom holds on then as Goddard is retired in the pit lane as well. Then goodness me, they're all falling by the wayside with only a couple of laps to go then, as Ballint has taken the place as well. Then up into oh dear, I thought Mushroom's going to get live there, but up into P7. Then again, Mushroom doesn't need to worry too much because he's going to get Ballint back on the penalty situation there as well. Then Styles now all over the back of Marvsky. Then Marvsky's tyres then, oh no, I'm not sure if Marvsky's had an issue somewhere, because here comes Styles. Then he's flying and he's up into P4. Then is he? Yes, he is. Then as he goes through, then up into P4. Then I think it was actually Marvsky's got himself past Styles, hadn't he there? But Marvsky then has dropped back down to P5 then, but now Styles is going to be under pressure then with the DRS then for both the Mercedes and Ferrari behind him as well. Then, as I said, then the penalties don't really matter for Styles. Then he doesn't need to worry about them getting past him, to be honest, because it would get the places back then at the checkered flag. But there we are then. Reflection then is not close enough then to challenge Smithy for the time being as well. Then that penalty then, of course, as well for Reflection is going to be costly indeed for him getting the race win here. Smithy then looks on the cards for the race win here in Austria as well. Then here comes Marvsky once again on the attack, then down the hill towards turn 4. Can he make the move? Not quite then, as Hungry Styles covers him off there as well. Then his teammate then, Object the Slayer, then is right in front of Hungry Styles here as well. Then goodness me, as we go through then into lap 32. And Slayer then, I think, is he getting out of the way or not? Doesn't look like it there. So both, unfortunately, both drivers then, Yumabro and Goddard then out of the Grand Prix, then both retiring in the pit lane. Then Marvsky then is now looking to try and challenge Hungry Styles. Then Mushroom is 10 seconds behind them. Ballint then putting the pressure on. The Rosa Sky is now caught up with this fight as well here then. And Hello Housey is also in the mix as well then. And here comes Stephen Anthony on his fresh medium compound tyres as well. Goodness me. It is action-packed, to say the least. But there we are then, as it looks like the lead is also wrapped up then. Lap 33 then of 36, then 3 laps to go then at the end of this one then, as Slayer then getting passed by past this pack then as well. As we go into turn 3 then, Styles has held on for now, but here comes Marvsky once again then on the charge then in that Mercedes, then looking pretty quick indeed. And can he get himself back through then as well? Then as we go through then, Ballint has passed Mushroom then, oh no, oh goodness me, I thought there was also going to be all sorts of issues there as we go through into turn 3. Then Ballint has got himself through. Mushroom then has dropped down. Then what's going on behind us as well, as Stephen Anthony's got himself past Rosa Sky and Hello Housey then, and here he comes then on the attack, passing Mushroom as well then into turn 4. Yes, he has. Those fresh medium compound tyres working wonders then for Stephen Anthony. Then now he's got Ballint to try and contend with as well. Then can he get himself up into P7 here and get himself further up the order then, of course, with the penalty situation. Then he needs to get himself a bit of a move on as well then with the penalty situation. Then Mushroom has not got any penalties then, so could be gaining quite substantially here as well then at the end of this Grand Prix when the checkered flag does fall. But not yet. Lap 34 then underway as we go down the hill then into the final quarter. Then Mushroom was in the back of the Williams there, and now here comes Stephen Anthony then on his fresh tyres, and he's breezing past then with the DRS as well up into P7 now. In the background we've got a bit of a gaggle then forming then between the rest of the field behind us as we go through up the hill then in towards turn 3. Then Ballint looking to fight back then, but I think he's a bit too far back then as Hello Housey's got himself past Rosa Sky then into turn 3. Up the order then we've got Mushroom then a bit of a McLaren sandwich for the time being as well then, but now we go on to the back straight then up into up down towards turn 4 then, lap 34 then, 2 laps to go then at the end of this one. Then Stephen Anthony needs to break that gap then to Mushroom then and to Hello Housey as well then, because of course his penalties are going to be very costly indeed then, and demote him back down the order with those two gaining as well then. If he can't get himself out of that window as well, we'll have to wait and see. Then in the lead of the Grand Prix we've got this fantastic battle as Reflection takes the lead of the Grand Prix into turn 3 on the penultimate lap as well then here in Austria. And well, he's going to be ruining that penalty as well then, I think, because so long as Smithy stays within 3 seconds of the Aston Martin then, or he's not really doing a good job with that then, I think now he is, but I thought he was losing time then on that straight with the DRS even, but he can just stay within that 3-second window then of the Aston Martin then, and claim that reward then of the race win then. These three carrying on their fight then, but it's stabilised out I should say then at the moment then, as we go further down the order then. 2 seconds back then for Ballot then, as here comes Mushroom on the attack then in towards turn 3. Slayer is in the pit lane for the soft compound tyres. Can he go for that fastest lap point as we go through into turn 3 then? Both McLarens then in the fight then with the Alpine as we go through then over the crest of the hill then, now down towards turn 4. Mushroom is all over the back here then as we head down the hill then in towards turn 4 then. Where's he going to go? Which way is he going to go then? He's going to go down. Oh dear, there's almost contact then as both the McLarens then are causing a kerfuffle then with the Alpine, and I think Ballin's blocked his teammate there. Goodness me. And my goodness me then, it's all over the place then. Ballin going wide then. Now can Mushroom sneak down the inside? Yes he can. Then can he hold on the pace then into turn 6 as well? Then down the inside there's contact there slightly then. Mushroom then has not been able to get himself through, and Rosasky almost off the circuit. He is. No, he's not off the circuit. There's yellow flag somewhere else. Not sure what's going on there. But a bit of calm then, please, everyone. Please, thank you. Oh dear, it's Rocket Lee then has had an issue. Unfortunately for Rocket Lee then, it's gone from bad to worse this race then, for the front row sitter as well then, in P2 then. He's not going to have a good time then as can he get himself back in the pit lane and go for a fastest lap point as well then. He's just cracking on then as oh dear, no, he's gone straight on and into a wall. Yeah, it's not going very well there for Rocket Lee, unfortunately there. But he is back underway. So that's good news indeed. Right then, out in front then, we've got Reflection. And Reflection's going to cross the line first. But Smithy Almighty is going to win here in Austria then. Another win, back-to-back wins then for the Ferrari driver. Then fantastic stuff indeed then for Smithy. And what a race win indeed then. Rocket Lee has crashed and retired then. But Smithy Almighty doesn't care then, because Smithy Almighty wins the Grand Prix here with a fantastic performance as well then. Brilliant stuff indeed then. What a drive then from Smithy Almighty then for Ferrari as well here. Reflection in P2 at the end then with that penalty then. It was going to be costly indeed, but Reflection then fought on then. A great battle indeed between himself and Smithy as well. Then Dynamo Dan rounds off the podium places once again then for the Williams team. Brilliant result there indeed. And Hungry Stars then a fantastic drive indeed then from the back of the grid then after that qualifying ban. Then Hungry Stars gets himself P4 here tonight then. Brilliant result indeed then for the Racing Bull team. Marsky P5 with the penalties then. Winnie then P6 then Stephen Anthony P7 in the end as well. Then Mushroom P8 then Housie P9. Ballint P10. Rosasky P11 then Liam in Vintage in P11. Rosasky P12. Liam in P13. Mr. Elite in P13, Liam P14 now, and Real Ashton, will cross the line in P15, I think there, but there we go then. Smithy gets your driver of the day vote, then Dynamo Dan, Marsky and Reflection, your other nominees, but wow. Fantastic performance indeed then from the vast majority of bronze there. That was brilliant stuff indeed. Racing all the way through was absolutely fantastic as well. And there are your podium sitters as well then, with Smithy Almighty on the top step for Ferrari, then the Aston Martin Reflection P2 and Dynamo Dan in the Williams P3. And we'll get ourselves a run through the classification in just a jiffy as well then. But we're going to hopefully some interviews as well with our top three. But fantastic racing indeed then from bronze. What a great Grand Prix indeed. No rain in sight as well, which is fantastic to see, because that's terrifying. But there we go then, as we get ourselves into the classification shortly then. We will get a rundown then of who finished where then, but of course it's all provisional at the moment because we don't know what's going on there. So there we are then in the classification. Then Smithy wins the Grand Prix, then Reflection does hold on to that fastest lap point as well then, so that's going to be good news indeed for his championship fight then. Dynamo Dan P3, Stars P4, Marsky P5, Winnie P6, Stephen Anthony P7, Serious Mushroom P8, Housie in P9, Ballot P10, Vintage in P11, Rosasky in P12, Mr. Elite P13, Real Ashton P14 in the end. Then Liam does round off the points paying positions in P15. Rocket Lee unfortunately out of the Grand Prix on the last lap. Then Dukanko P17, Jake the Slayer P18, Goddard's and you Mad Bro P19 and 20 retired in this race. And there we are then. We'll get ourselves some interviews underway, shall we? As we'll start off then with our race winner then, Smithy Almighty. How was that race from your point of view then? It seemed a bit tense indeed, and once you broke away from the rest of the field in the early part of that first stint, it was between yourself and Reflection for the majority of that Grand Prix then. What was your thoughts?
Yeah, pretty much what you said, tense. I had no inkling that I was going to get anywhere near the win, to be honest with you, because I saw Reflection speed in the qualified and I thought, nah, he's way too quick to get anywhere near him. So yeah, being able to fight that close to him was one, I think, down to the undercuts and obviously the win was down to his penalty. There's no way I'd have kept that win if I went down to his penalty. But yeah, tense indeed.
And like I said, back-to-back wins as well then for yourself after Canada as well then. How are you feeling then in terms of the championship then? Because, of course, you now take the championship lead.
Yeah, I think that's the first time I've ever done that, and so obviously, like I say every week, I'm not going to count my chickens too early. There's still a long way to go in the season, and still a lot of great drivers in here. Obviously, Reflection, Dynamo Dan, obviously up there, well with me. There's no gap really, is there? So yeah, with this much time to go, I'm still keeping myself grounded. But yeah, just hoping we can keep them performances where they are at the moment.
Cracking stuff indeed, and well done indeed for the race win tonight. Then Smithy Almighty in Ferrari.
Cheers.
Reflection is P2 then tonight. Then Reflection then again, as I said with Smithy, then battling pretty much for the whole race between the two of you there. Did you think that you might have lost the lead then with that penalty situation as well? Then, or what's the stance from your point of view in the garage?
I think Smithy drove brilliantly. I think he had a brilliant strategy. Undercut me twice, and once you're in dirty air, it's so difficult, especially around the middle sector and around the last two corners. I got like a double warning and a 3 seconds straight off to the last corner, so I'm going to try and get that removed. That penalty removed because I thought that was a bit harsh. But no, Smithy drove faultlessly. It was a fantastic battle with him all race. I'm sweating now.
Good stuff indeed then. And of course, as well as Smithy as well, then in your championship fight, it really brings you into contention a bit more as well then, especially if you do get those penalties removed. So what's your thoughts then for the overall of the championship as well then, as it turns into the, well, almost the second half of the season now?
I'm just taking it one race at a time. There's some fantastic and fast drivers in this league. I think Hungry Styles would have been up there if he didn't have the qualifying ban. Smithy, Dynamo Dams, always consistent as always. Winnie, even Winnie puts in some good performances. So just take one race at a time and see where we are at the end. As long as I have some good battles, I'm happy.
Well, congratulations indeed then. P2 tonight then for Reflection in the Aston Martin. Then we'll move on to Dynamo Dan then, rounding off the podium tonight then, Dynamo Dan. You had a bit of interesting race, let's just say that. It got a bit quieter towards the end there after your teammate got out of the way then in that final stint. Then how did the race unfold from your point of view?
Yeah, I think it started off quite hard and got obviously very easy towards the end, but I think that was all down to my qualifying lap that I invalidated on the last turn because that put me a couple of positions backwards, and then come the race I was stuck behind, I think it was Marvsky, who's an absolute rocket on the straights, and I just could not get past him, but that let Smithy and Reflection just sail off into the sunset together, and it was hard to make any sort of time back up after that, which is just ended up with me driving on my own at the end of the race.
And like I said, it's another podium for yourself then, rounding off, I think, a pretty good string of podiums so far this season then. What do you think is from your championship point of view then, after, of course, you've seen Smithy and Reflection? I think Reflection, well, it depends on if the penalty gets removed or not, to be honest, for Reflection, but it could swing Reflection into the lead of the championship as well, potentially. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, what's your thoughts then from your point of view for the championship then? What are your plans for the second half of the season as well?
I mean, it could go either way, couldn't it? There's like everyone said, there's a lot of fast drivers out in this league, and I'm not one of them. I guess I'm more consistent than fast. So I'll just pick up points and podiums where I can. But who knows what will happen in the second half? It's all to play for sure.
Great stuff indeed. Then Dynamo Dan P3 tonight in the Williams team then. Fantastic. Well, that's it for bronze then here tonight. Then we'll be back tomorrow night for the 100% League, where we're taking on a double feature of Monza and Imola as well then. So stay tuned to that then from 7:30 tomorrow. We'll be back in action for gold, silver and bronze from Sunday as well then. I believe we're going to be in Britain. So there we go. So stay tuned for that as well then. We'll see you very soon. Thanks very much.